It's already 8 in the morning. Not too much people. It is rainy and cold this morning. Yeah. It is a bigger city, so.
It's gonna make me want to go out all the time. Let's go look at the hospital building.
Let's go at the let's go look at the two tiny cathedrals that we have. It's straight.
We'll walk around by ruins. Oh, look at
So got this ham, got a pistachio and mozzarella from the tastes good from the first bite. It's definitely like sweeter.
when they're like.
Yeah, it's really good. Like with the little crunchy nuts, sugared. This is a charcuterie board in Florence.
Some pickled onions, I like that.
This is the burrata, but it is.
Is
There's liquid inside.
Okay, you do that. This looks like something woody.
That's pecorini.
It's definitely tastes nothing like what I thought it would taste.
Leave it for like the meat and stuff. Don't just eat cheese.
I thought this was going to taste like American cheddar or something for some reason, because it looks like it.
I can taste the pepper in there. It's very,
in this?
yeah, it's supposed to be very mild, but it's in there.
It's very subtle.
Take a break from that. There's no bread. You said that there was bread.
I said I thought.
No, you said there was.
I misspoke.
Let's try the
Where did we have
pecorini.
something else like this?
No, I'm getting
Where did we have something like this?
Parma with the breading.
So far, I'm going to say that.
And it was just bread and this. No cheese, no nothing else.
So far, I like the Parma better as I'm going around. You're supposed to put toppings.
I mean, where else are you gonna? I don't think you're gonna eat them separate. It's a little burrata.
And burrata is the cheese one. Is the sandwiches?
Bruschetta, something. Bruschetta.
That's the sandwich, right?
It was really good. This is veal with mashed potatoes. And it got really crowded in here really quick. Right, guys, I forgot to film last night about our thoughts on Florence. It's been crazy last 2 days. So going from La Spezia to Florence, we had a transfer, which is thankfully it's the only city that we had like a train transfer because it was a bit crazy. So our first train from La Spezia to Pisa was running late. It ran, I think, almost 40 minutes late. By the time we got on, obviously our next transfer, we were late for that train, but all of the workers were saying it's fine, just get on the next one. So once we got to Pisa, the transfer wasn't as bad because the train station was not as big, so we got that. But instead of ending in Florence at 10 in the morning, we ended up being at Florence at 11 in the morning. And as soon as we walked out of the train, it was packed. It was really a lot of people. And we noticed there is a lot of Americans. This is like the first city where there was a lot of Americans and a lot of tourists. Like in the other cities, there's a lot of tourists, but from other countries, other languages. Anyways, thankfully our Airbnb was only 5 minutes walking, but I don't know, I guess when I planned it, I was probably tired or something because it was very close to the train station, but it was a very far walk to the city center. It was like a 17-minute walk to the city center, and that's a lot of walking when you're tired and you've been walking for a week. You need like max 9 minutes to the city center. That's like the perfect spot, 9 minutes. Anything over 9 minutes is already like you start to really feel it. So then what did we do? We did walk slowly to the city center in spots. So we pretty much ended up walking around the town, like the city center. Like it's very walkable, but if like the city center to the train station is like pretty much a 17-minute walk. So if you're staying not right in the city center, I would say it's not very walkable. So we did end up using the local bus 2 times, I think, and it was not great. So the first time we ended up walking to the bridge, and it was very nice but very hot and lots of people. Like it was very crowded, so I wasn't a huge fan. Got a teeny bit pictures. I was like, I'll go the next day super early in the morning when there's no crowds at all. So we went to the bus station, and it seemed like the bus just left, and we waited at least 30 to 35 minutes for the next bus, and their system was not working very well. It was not showing when the bus was gonna come for a long time, so we just stood there for a long time, but it did get to our destination quite quickly. So after that, we pretty much, because we had to go from the bridge all the way across town for a pasta class. I didn't realize how, because Florence is supposed to be walkable, but apparently the pasta class was like 30 minutes walk. So we were like, there's no way we're walking 30 minutes. We were exhausted from train travel and walking for a week. So after the bus took us there, it was probably like a 15-minute drive on the bus, and we waited for the bus like 35, so it took us an hour, but thankfully we still made it to the pasta class in early. So we just went in there and they gave us water. They were very nice. We did the pasta class. It was 3 hours in total. It was very nice. We made ravioli, fettuccine, and gnocchi, and all the sauces. Everything was super good, and we made panna cotta dessert. It was very good. It was very, very, very good, and we ate a lot of it, and we did not feel bloated or like horrible. It was super good. Highly recommend a pasta class in Florence. maybe not like out of town. I'm not too far from the city center. Anyways, that was pretty much day one, so very full. And on the next day, we woke up and headed to the city at like, it was almost 7 when we hit the city center, and it was raining, like pouring raining, but at least I did get a lot of pictures with the Duomo and like all the city spots, pretty much by myself. There's like barely any people, is what I like. And I highly recommend anywhere that you go that you wake up and you get to the place by 7 in the morning. You'll have like 2 hours pretty much to yourself. Like there's barely any people out. Usually everyone comes out like at 10:30 in the morning. That's when everyone like wakes up and gets out. So we did that, and then after that,
Roma Termini. Il treno fermerà a Roma Tiburtina, Roma Termini. Vi invitiamo ad occupare il posto a voi assegnato e a regolare.
so after that we headed to the train station, and we were going to a small town that's about an hour-ish away, Guarata. Well, we used the train to go to Pistoia, and then we were supposed to take a bus to Guaracha, and the guy to go look at guitars being made by Paoletti, right? So they're Italian, handmade, custom-made, very fancy guitars, and that's where their hub is, in Guaracha and Guarata. And so my husband wanted to go there because he has like 11 guitars. And now he has 12. Yeah. It's a good hobby he has. Yes. Anyways, so we came in the train station super easy. Then we saw the bus, like right as we came, we saw the bus that we needed to take. But there was a flood of kids running towards the bus, shoving, and it was like, and my husband's like, get on. I was like, there's kids shoving. No, this is like, no, big no. And there was like even kids that didn't even fit. It was literally to the brim. There was kids at the steps, like almost falling out of the train. It was packed to the brim. But so we were like, oh, it's fine, we'll wait for the next one. So we started looking it up and seeing that the next one's like in 45 minutes. So I was like, okay, we can see why all the kids jumped at the bus, because the next one to that town is 45 minutes away. So we like crossed the street trying to figure out what we can do. I have like 2 apps for taxis. They weren't working, but then we saw there was taxis there, but that was it was going to be too expensive, which later we found out is probably going to be like $24, which was not bad. Anyways, we took the bus after an hour, so we were running almost late, and we came like 2 hours late to give us time to get there. Then the bus, I pressed the button when it's our time. It's like way past our spot was like at the very end. He passes our stop and drops us off with another 10-minute walk. So instead of 8 minutes walk, we ended up having to take a 17-minute walk, and we were pretty much an hour late to the appointment. We came 2 hours early, and we were an hour late to the appointment, so we didn't get as much time as we wanted, but we still ended up being there for an hour and a half. He gave us the tour how they made guitars, and like there was only like 2 people, so they didn't really like turn on the machines and show how they cut stuff, but kind of just their stations, kind of basic run through of like how they make their guitars and the woods that they make and the reasoning behind the wood and everything like that. And then he took us to the showroom, and we looked at the guitars they had there. My husband played a few, and my husband ended up, pretty much told him which one I like, and he ended up getting that one. So yeah. So then they ordered us a taxi, which ended up being that he had to drive all the way out to Cuaracha and Cuarata. I always forget. I always butcher the names. Anyways, so he had to drive from the train station over there and then back, so it was pretty much double the price. So it was $42 to the train station. Then we paid for the ticket for the train station. It was like €7.60 for both of us to get back to Florence. And that was pretty much it. So I was really hungry, and I ended up canceling our reservation because I didn't know when we were gonna be back, but we would have been back in time. So I started looking like frantically where to eat, and somewhere not expensive, but we pretty much ended up in, pretty sure it's a tourist trap because it was all Americans, all tourists, no locals there. The charcuterie board was really good. It was really good, but it was €25.
Prices were for tourists.
Huh?
The prices were for tourists.
Yeah, they were definitely high. And they had like a veal with mashed potatoes, was €25 too. And it wasn't very good. It was not very good. So yeah, that was our last day in Florence. We had 2 days. So is it walkable? Yes and no. If you're right in the city center, and you're just gonna stay in the city center, then yes, it's walkable. You'll probably walk the first time, like from the train station a little bit, but other than that, you will have to take the bus. Then let's see, is it safe? Yeah, I felt safe. No. Yeah, there was a lot of kids in Florence, a lot of teenagers. What else? Food, we didn't really get to eat a whole lot. We did eat some street food at the market we went to the market the first day for lunch, and it was packed. It was so packed. But we went to, they had burgers and very American food there as well. So we're like, it's probably a tourist trap. But we went to a place where it was €6 for pasta, fresh made pasta, and you get to pick the sauce, and it was so good. We got gnocchi with pesto, and that was it was amazing. And then I got raviolis with lemon sauce. That was good, but the gnocchi, it was nothing to compare. The gnocchi was so good. And then we got a fresh cannoli, he filled the cannoli in front of us. It was expensive. It was like a little bigger than normal size, and it was like $4.50, but it was really good too. It was very yummy. So food was, most of the food that we tried was good, other than the last restaurant. So street food was really good. Street food, all of their cafes, their cornetos, their croissant cornetos, they were pretty cheap. Super delicious. Their cappuccino was a little weak, but their macchiatos are really strong but perfect. They were really good. So their food is mostly good. Street food. Restaurant, I can't really say because we only had one, and we did not really have a good experience with that. Let's see, food, safe, somewhat walkable. Definitely gonna take a bus most likely. And you just tap your phone. We did not use cash anywhere. We haven't used cash until only one spot in La Spezia at a gelateria that wanted cash, and their
we only spent like €2 or something.
And their gelateria was not good. Their gelato was not good. We pretty much used cash. Not cash, card, tap with their phone. We don't even take out our card out. No, tap with their phone everywhere. Let's see what else. Weather. The first day was extremely hot. The next day was raining, so it was fine. We had appropriate dress. We wore shorts and a t-shirt the first day. The next day we wore jeans and raincoats and umbrella. So just bring appropriate clothing. And I think that's it. So we're heading to Rome and we'll be there in an hour. See you guys next time.